Do you sometimes find yourself in a situation where you actually notice that you're chasing something, that you look for the secret somewhere, and that it's never enough, that you can never get enough information or insights, but nothing actually changes in your life? You're not actually applying this in your life, but you kind of like push that to the side and then you keep on chasing, you keep on looking to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and it's never enough. I've recognized this for myself, and today I want to go into the deeper reason on why we have this tendency to chase insights and to look for that next thing, and what can actually solve this problem. There's 3 steps that I want to go into in today's video. So hey, I'm Philip Vergo, I'm a psychedelic integration coach, and in my journey I have noticed this tendency. From the beginning till today, it's been a theme for me to chase something, to look for the answers elsewhere, to expect someone to give me the secret sauce or something that will then magically solve all my problems. Especially in business and in my psychedelic journeying, I've noticed that. When I was beginning to start my business at 16, or just like having the idea of having my own business, I was looking for the fast track, for that thing that's easy to do and quick to do and that's gonna solve my money problems forever. And as well in the psychedelic journeying, there it's a bit more subtle and a bit more nuanced. I had my first couple trips and then I saw the potential of the psychedelic journeying and of these states of consciousness that we could glimpse right there. And I thought that the next insight in the next psychedelic journey, just a little bit of a higher dose, a little bit of a different substance, is finally gonna get me to this place, is finally gonna allow me to rest in that state of consciousness forever. But sometimes I notice I keep coming back down. I watched the next video about another spiritual insights and I still keep coming back to myself, feeling empty, feeling like it's not enough, feeling like I need to go out again and seek the next thing, seek the next advice. It's a very common tendency for so many of us. And actually what I've noticed is kind of like the deeper layer of this is self-trust. That basically this desire to look for the answer elsewhere stems from this feeling of not being enough, not having enough, not being worth enough, and not trusting ourselves and our ability to move through life, to actually take action and integrate all that stuff that we've seen. So right? The problem here is then this thinking that when I've got this next insight, when I've got this next psychedelic breakthrough, then I'll finally be enough. Then I'll finally have the answer to my problem. But this is a flawed mindset, because this mindset in and of itself is implying that when this happens, then that happens. But this is never the case. It will never occur. The moment will never come where we finally feel complete. Because we already are. And we know that. Deep down we know that. Through maybe psychedelic experiences or through reading some scriptures, we have this idea. We know that already. But somehow we can't trust it. We don't believe it. We don't really believe that this is the case, right? And then the journey starts off going again, right? Maybe you've had the breakthrough. Maybe you've had the insight that's valuable, but not the follow-through, not the integration of it, not the ability to trust that fully and then let that sink in fully. So now I want to kind of like go into 3 ways in which we could approach this issue. I don't want to say problem, because in my reality there are no problems, but this interesting situation that we find ourselves in. And one is to shift our mindset. So not to say that when I've got this next insight, when I've got this next breakthrough, then I'll feel complete. But rather to actually recognize that I've got the pot of gold right here in the lotus of my heart. I've got everything I need. I've read the books, I've watched the podcasts, enough of them. I've had the psychedelic journeys. Now I can trust that. I don't need another experience. I don't need another insight for me to actually start living my life. For me to actually start feeling complete and whole. For me to actually trust my ability. That I am enough. So the mindset shift is crucial here. It's basically raising the awareness around the mindset when we fall into this pattern of thinking that is looking for the next thing, is looking for the next insight, is looking for the next experience. Sometimes when we raise our awareness enough, we can catch ourselves and ask, like, do I really need to watch that video right now? What do I think is this secret marketing or secret spiritual teaching gonna give me that I don't already know, that I can't discover for myself? What is this next psychedelic trip gonna give me in a higher dose, in a more extreme manner that I don't already know? Nothing wrong with going to psychedelic journeys or watching another video, right? Love doing that stuff. But in these moments, there's an opportunity to recognize that tendency to look for the next thing to finally feel complete. And then we can break that, basically. Shift our mindset and recognize, like, okay, let me rest here and see if I cannot trust myself a little bit more here and figure out the next step or the clarity or that feeling of completeness and of worthiness from within myself. If I can generate that and remember that from within myself. Because it's hidden. It's hidden right here. And then the second step that we can take to approach this is to then rest in that trusting of ourselves, right? To not follow through on that impulse of the distraction, of the next thing, of the next book, of the next insight. To stop that chasing a little bit and actually do some practical things to ground ourselves in our body, in our self, in our experience right here. That can mean taking a couple deep breaths. That can mean going out into nature for a little walk. That can mean taking a pen and a paper and then journaling about our experience of life and what we're looking for right here. That can also mean, and that's one of the most effective and also most scary action steps, to not do anything. It's so hard, actually, when you notice that you're always wanting to escape, always wanting to chase the next thing, the next insight, the next experience, not to follow through on that, cut that, just try it out as an experiment and then sit. After this video, maybe you've been looking for something here, maybe. But sit. Don't look to the next video. Just sit with yourself, with your experience in that uncomfortable space of silence. Like, oh. And then feel into yourself and see if you can sense this sense of trust. And say, like, okay, I can actually trust myself to know what I want to do next, where I'm called to do, what excites me the most. And I know how to do that. And then from that place, from that knowledge and from that wisdom within yourself, you can live life with more confidence, with more authenticity, because you live from your own presence, from your own heart, from your own lived experience. You find your learning in your own experience, not from anywhere else. And I mean all these concepts and ideas and experiences and insights are useful. You've had all of those. Apply them, integrate them, let them sink in and utilize them in your experience, in your life. Trust yourself a little bit more. You can. You know, it's funny with a lot of my coaching clients, a question that gets asked a lot is, what do you think? Right? And I get asked that a lot. And the funny thing is that is exactly displaying this searching. It's displaying this not trusting yourself. So what I always like to answer is, it's not about, like, why do you care about my perspective, my advice? It doesn't matter. I'm here to facilitate your own self-awareness, your own growth, so you can come to trust your own insights and your own experience and move forward with confidence. I'm here to cheer you on, but I'm not here to tell you what to do, because only you can in the end. Because you live your life, and your psychedelic integration is your life, right? I can't tell you what to do. You can, but I can help you to trust yourself, to come to that place of trust within yourself, that place of abundance and wholeness within yourself that can inspire you to move forward with confidence from that authentic place within yourself. So that's kind of like interesting. And then from that place, the third step is to take action, to actually not overthink things again and again and again and chase for the next insight and the next experience and the next thing, but actually learn as you go. You go on your path. You find a passion, you follow that excitement in the morning, right? You learn as you go. And you take maybe tiny steps, one step at a time, very slowly. It's a bit wobbly, you're still chasing, you're still looking for the next thing. But sometimes you can lay that aside and you trust yourself. You learn as you go. You approach some people, you meet some people, you try out new things. You actually meditate without a guided meditation. You actually contemplate topics for yourself instead of looking for a YouTube video. And then through that, you can accumulate an authentic array of experience and wisdom that can then unfold naturally in your life. Because embodiment and the integration is the path. Right? Oftentimes there's an overwhelm of insights when we look for new podcasts, new experiences, new books, new psychedelic trips, everything. You know, it's too much. It's too much to integrate, and everybody's contradicting everybody else. So it's confusing. No wonder you're feeling lost and confused when you just try to listen and find the truth in the outside. So, right? You gotta switch that flip and say, mindset shift. The wisdom is here. I can actually trust myself. I've got everything I need. I've got all the knowledge I need. I've got all the wisdom I need. And then I can feel into that. I can actually look at my own experience and trust that. Learn to trust that a little bit more, even though it feels scary and it feels uncomfortable and I don't feel worthy of that. And then I can actually go. I can actually take action and embodiment from my own experience, from my own wisdom, and build a life that's aligned with my true authentic core. From this place of trust, from this place of authenticity, from this place of wholeness and of being enough. And then magic is gonna unfold. So that's the message for today. I hope you enjoyed this. There's never enough. If you look always in the outside, it's never going to be enough. And the next experience, the next insight, the next video is never going to be satisfying you completely. That satisfaction is only found within, that contentment is only found within the wholeness of your own being. You can trust that. I'm here to support you on that journey if you're curious about that. First link in the description is an application if you're curious about coaching with me. And the second link is all the best free resources for your integration journey. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.